Welcome, Sangha. I'm John, and this is a Dharma Recovery Meeting, 6 p.m., Spokane, Soul Center, and online, so nationwide, probably. Right on. It's really great to see everybody here, see all your faces. So I'm going to get started, and last week I'd done appreciative joy. And I really enjoyed that. That's what we covered together as a Sangha for the Monday night. We had a new chant, and with Anid led it, and it was incredible. So now it's Mudita. And you guys might be doing, or we did equanimity last week. You guys might be doing equanimity this week, I don't know. But Mudita, appreciative joy. It's a word that's actually hard to define into English. Appreciative joy is one way of defining it. Some define it as empathetic joy. It's even been defined as appreciation or gratitude. But it's a tricky word because it's a bigger word than a lot of the words we use that translate it into English. It's a bigger word than just joy or appreciation. It's a big, powy word. So it's the one I understand the least. Probably not personality-wise. It's just so I always thought I had the two-fisted Buddhism of compassion and mindfulness, or maybe I would say metta and equanimity. Or I don't think of joy much in any form. Mudita can particularly mean appreciating the happiness of others. There's also a part of it that is learning to appreciate our own lives despite conditions, which I hear over and over and over again when I go to these places and read and think about it more, is enjoying our lives in the moment without regards to conditions. Sitting in a 12-step meeting a long, long time ago, and there was this woman, and she always goes, I have such a low level of delight. It's amazing. I have such a low level of delight. The smallest things make me happy. So how I see that as Mudita, and what I learned from her saying that, it began to occur to me that the less I clung to my substances and the more I practiced the Eightfold Path and the appreciative joys, truly the smallest things would make me happy. That includes seeing other people happy. I was watching my cat drink water out of the faucet before I came here, and it was a really beautiful, beautiful moment, just watching the cat just really loving to just drink that little stream of water coming out and appreciating my cat's happiness to have that, but just appreciating that moment in and of itself. And it was good, and it really set me up well to be here. Another thing about appreciative joy I ran into is that it gives us a balance. I myself as a human, and the article, which was The Power of Leading with Appreciative Joy from Mindfulness Magazine, it balances out our tendency to be negative, or seeing people in judgmental light. Instead of viewing people first like, oh, they're not going to do this, or they always do this. You know, all the negative things I can view. See them for all the beautiful, beautiful things they are. I'm also reminded of Thich Nhat Hanh. When we appreciate the little things, it's also a matter of appreciating the things that we don't necessarily know that we need to appreciate. So right now I have zero appreciation that my leg is functioning and not in pain. I have none. But if I went outside and I got a compound fracture, and again, I learned this from Thich Nhat Hanh, I would be acutely aware of my suffering from that experience. So to take the time to appreciate all the things, all the ways that I'm healthy, all the ways that I am fortunate, and not, take those things for granted. And there are two things I can think of specifically. I used to get a lot of ear infections, and I used to get a lot of migraines, and now I hardly ever get either one. I appreciate that. When I take the time, I'm very happy that I don't have that form of suffering anymore. Greater Good, The Science of a Meaningful Life, out of Berkeley University in California. When they did what research they could do on appreciative joy, they found that people who practiced it, who spent time enjoying the happiness of others, were more willing to help others and had greater happiness and satisfaction themselves, and also had better personal relationships. So that's a side effect of being skillful in my practices. Mudita is the opposite of envy. I write poetry, and I used to do poetry competitions. I don't do them anymore because I just don't feel like it's good. But I remember, but I still am in writing groups, and I still hear stuff, and there can be a tendency when I hear something really good, I have this envy, like, man, I wish I could have wrote that. And then I have this follow-up thought, that the next thought that comes out, it's like, I'm not a good writer because I didn't write that. And then remembering the mindful poet's statement, someone else's thunder doesn't steal my thunder. It's their thunder. It's their talent, and I can enjoy that and not grow envious. But I do know that feeling of envy, and I do know the feeling when I let go of that and just enjoy the pure art that people can do just with words. It really takes me to a better place. I also think when I left Christianity, and I'm just musing on Mudita, this was based on a couple of contemplative meditations I did and some research. I remember there's a belief popping up in some of the Christianity and some of the people I hung out with there. And for the record, I'm not anti-Christianity, right? I'm not like beating Christianity, or I don't want to do that. That's not my goal for the night. But my experience when I was leaving, there's a lot of people who believed in that if you were spiritual, that you would be wealthy. That was a thing that was happening. And which I don't I don't believe. However, there is a huge truth to that. It's just not big houses, big boats, nice cars, trips all around the world. It's not that kind of wealth. If I lead a mindful, compassionate existence with appreciative joy, using the skills I've learned, then I will have a wealth, which means that I am happy whatever the conditions I have, which is mudita. I want to, before I wrap this down, I think this might be the shortest poem by Mary Oliver. She's one of my favorites. And it's called Instructions for Living a Life. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it. Do that again. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it. So we're going to take some time to chant. And since you're here, would you be willing to do that? I've been doing that, as between classes and stuff, and I love it. So, and I'm afraid to do it because I change it, and I want it to be yours. I just naturally change to John.
That's cool. I would love to hear your variation.
But if you want to jump, I'd love to do it again.
I feel like all chants, it's lovely to have them become your own, like a yoga pose.
Mm-hmm.
Like your own. Okay. So the two phrases, one day at a time, and then go slowly, breathe, and smile, which is the name of a teeth book that we did over the summer. Okay. One day at a time,
go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time, go slowly, breathe then smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. One day at a time. Go slowly, breathe and smile. Let's take just a couple minutes. In silence. Thank you, Julia. Dedication of merit. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.